I met one of my mentors after that. I was considering to quit. And then he sat me down and then he asked me like, why do you think yours should win? Hi, I'm Firdaus, albeit Gunpla, and this is Cerita Kita.
Alright guys, today we're here with Fidi, aka GunplaLad. Okay, one of my good friends over here, which I am so curious to know because the level of detail in the work that he does is just mind-blowing. So I just want to first of all get to know your child because I think this part of you I don't really even know yet. So like how did you grow up? How was your family life like? Yeah, so yeah. all that.
So I was born in KL,
Right.
and then my dad is a doctor, my mom was a nurse.
Hmm.
So I came out. I'm brought up in a very science-based family.
Science-based.
Yeah, and then like even growing up, like I want to be a doctor and all that. Then we moved to Johor. My dad opened up his own clinic,
Right.
and then my mom opened her bakery. And then after that, he passed away. Then my mom do business. So my childhood is nothing much because I moved a lot. And then once I reached, so okay, I came back. I came from a very English-based family. So when I had to go to this place called Machap in Johor, it's very hard to get my footings down because people just look at me weird because I'm speaking in English. But then after that, like it took me like 2 years to get in, blah blah blah. And then after that, I went to a boarding school.
Right.
So I was in a boarding school since 2008 to 2010,
Right.
which is in Perak.
Yeah.
If you know which one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then after that, it's just uni, and then I just stay in KL. So
Yeah.
like my childhood is nothing much.
Interesting. So, will you say that when you were younger, do you face any sort of difficulties in terms of being in school and not fitting? Because I always hear that Malays who don't actually speak very fluent Malay or rather choose to speak English, they kind of get ostracized by their own community. Does that sort of happen?
Yeah. Okay. So there are two reasons why um, me not really fit in school. One is because of the language barrier. When I was in Johor, like it's always like I always feel like I'm faking it. Like I
Right.
have to fake being able to speak Malay, which I can. It's just that in my family we're speaking in English, right? But even you know what's funny? It even affect me till today. Like I still have people around me today that say like, "Oh, poyo, content ko is in English," and I'm like, "Bruh, it's just a language." But the second reason is that I have always been that rascal. So like
Okay.
my goal in life, at least in school life, is to mess up with my teachers. Yeah. So I would, and then but the thing is, I'm smart,
Right.
so they can't throw me out.
Right.
But they having me in is quite hard. So like, I give you an example. I have this very cute English teacher, and then one of the
Oh,
yeah, she's very cute. And then one of this punishment that she gives is that apparently she thought that I hate being in class, so she'll say like, "Oh, stay back after class
Okay.
and do your homework." So I purposely don't do my homework so I can spend time with this cute teacher.
Why is it sounding like it's going to go
No,
somewhere?
no, 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 no. And then she caught up after 2-3 months. She caught up. She's like, "Oh, so you like you didn't do your homework, so you can spend more time with me." I was like, "Okay." And then after that, she always sent me to the library.
Ah,
So I end up like not being in her class if I don't do her assignment. So like
okay.
after that, I do my assignment. So I'm very like that kind of a student.
Right. This guy got game, man. I tell you. Interesting. So yeah, let's go on to something else, which is the reason why I'm here is like, how did you get into Gunpla?
Actually, I'm sure most millennials here would know that there is this magazine called Gunpla, right?
Yes.
Yes. So like like with the under 18,
Yes,
it's all like
yes,
edgy jingo and all that.
Right.
So I started looking at Gunpla in this magazine, and I look at all these model kit toys and all that, and I'm always curious because I'm always fascinated with toys. So like even my mom like will always buy me toys.
Right.
So every time I look at it, I'm like, what is this? I don't know what it is. Like I don't know where to find it. So long story short, after that, I graduated, blah blah blah. Okay, so after I graduated, I've always watched this series called Build Fighter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I always go to this shop in Sungai Wang, and I always looked at it, but I'm not working yet. So I was just looking at it, and I look at the price, and I'm like, oh, it's so expensive, and I walked out. And a lot of people saw this. Like most of my friends, I have a big group of friends. Like we're like family. They saw it. My then girlfriend, now wife, saw it as well. So on my birthday, I'm always emotional on my birthday because I don't really have a good history building from back then. So I cried in the swimming pool, and Alia would be happy that I mentioned this because she always make fun of me for this.
Who's Alia?
Alia is one of these girl that's really close to me. She's like a sister to me, and she's there, and she always like, oh, you always cry on your birthday in the swimming pool. I mentioned it anyway. So like I cried because I thought they forgot about my birthday, and then apparently they have to go to class and shit. And then I came back, and then they're like, oh look, Gundam. So after that, it start off like, oh, I'm curious about the technology behind this, and then like, oh, this one looks like a turtle, I want to buy this, and then I kept on buying, kept on building, and then now we.
So like, what do you think for you is the appeal? Like, what makes it over? Because there are a lot of these quote unquote similar hobbies where you build kits, right? Cyber built like World War II era stuff, and they build all the whole dioramas and stuff because they're the Warhammer thing. But why specifically Gunpla models has become like the main thing you're doing?
I think at first when I started this hobby, it's more like, oh, they already my friends and my wife already got me one, so I just want to make sure that they know that I still like it. But I have an engineering background.
I see.
Yeah, so I used to I practice as an oil and gas engineer for 2 years. So like all these mechanical things always like captivate me, like always capture my attention. And then after you build 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then you realize that every single kit has their own mechanical difference. So for me, like I just want to discover this. I want to discover like, oh, what's the difference between this, and then how can I make it better. And then when PKP hits, is where I was thinking to myself like, okay, how do I make it more appealing? Because at the time I have a shop to collect money to get married. So like when I have this shop, and I was thinking to myself like, um there are like 20 shops in Shopee. How do I make me stand out? Yeah, right. So at the time I was the first one to do IG live every day.
Right.
Yeah, so I sat down, and then I watch YouTube, and then I don't know how to paint. So I have a friend who's a painter, so I learned how to paint from her. And then after that, I just like, okay, how about this, but if it's black? How about this if it's white? So I discovered a lot of the colors. And from then, like, I think like when I see the potential and understanding the theory behind colors, and then I realize people start to dig the idea that I have, and I'm like, okay, I want to do more. So from there, the hobby grew. Yeah.
So right. So do you feel like there's a deeper meaning to this whole hobby of yours? Is it more than what's just on the surface?
No, I think this is deeper than it is. It's not
Really?
just Gundam. The theme for this whole thing is reparenting my childhood.
Oh.
So like if you see just now, when you ask me like, oh, what's your childhood? And then the answer that I can give you is my childhood is nothing much. It also means that I never actually experienced my childhood.
Wow.
Yeah.
You had to like sort of self-parent yourself?
Yeah.
Is it because your parents weren't very much around?
I think okay. So my mom. Okay, so my dad works all the time. So he's a doctor, right? He tried to be there, but at the time I was really close to my mom. And then my mom likes to buy stuff for me. So like toy became like a reward system,
Right.
which I still practice today. So like if I succeed in something, I'll buy toys. If I feel bad about it, I'll buy toys.
Right.
So why I do this, one is because I have ADHD. So like it's nice to have extra. You have all this extra energy in your head, and you just focus on one thing, and your head go quiet. You just you and that and what you're doing. So that's the first reason why I did it. It's just to like all these worries, all this anxiety, which I also have. So anxiety about like what's gonna happen in my future, or I've spent this much. When you do that, it's just you, me, and Gundam. And then also like it makes me feel good when people start to recognize my ability, because I have imposter syndrome as well. So when people like people who I look up in this hobby and look at me and say like, bro, come with me and I'll guide you and we'll do this, and then you achieve it, you start to gain an appreciation towards them, and also like your own ability. You start to see yourself from a different light.
Right.
So I think this is just a medium. I always tell my wife like this is just a medium for me to do content on social media and know where I what do you say that? How do you say that? And know my place in this world.
Yeah, identity.
Yeah, my identity and
Right.
what value I can give to others.
Correct.
So yeah.
Yeah. So because the Gundam has been so much of your identity so
Mm.
much so that it's your handle for IG. And
Yeah.
if I think about Fidi, the first thing I think about is Gunpla. When I'm now to the point that he's my friend, right?
Yeah.
So wherever I go, I see a Gunpla kid, or when I'm scrolling to TikTok, I just think of you. Your face just like,
Yeah.
it's like next to the Gundam models,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's beautiful that you found your place in the world through
Mm.
something as unique as Gunpla models, as you can see, and
Yeah.
it's more than just toys, as people would say,
Yeah.
right? I think another question I want to segue
Mm.
into is like, what do you find is the most challenging bit of this whole hobby?
The challenge, you know what? My answer is not gonna be so straightforward. The most challenging build is gonna be the next one.
Okay, that's
So,
interesting.
okay, so like, the straightforward answer will be the one that I just finished yesterday, which
Right.
is 5-star Story Speed Mirage, because it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different judging criteria, and then it's something really new to me, and I know I'm passionate about it. I want to do it, and it gives me the most happiness right now,
Right.
because I'm burnt out with Gundam.
Right.
So it's something new. But why I like to have a mindset of the hardest build is gonna be the next one. So I'm always ready. I'm always like, okay, I'm always open-minded that I have to do this next.
Right.
So like, instead of just keeping myself in a comfortable area, I always like force myself to go out of the box and just like, oh, do this. So by reparenting your head that, oh, the next one is gonna be the harder one, it helps.
Right.
Yeah.
So in terms of like, what's the end goal for every Gunpla builder, I guess? Is there like an end goal? Is there something like a goal to work towards to, or is it just very nuanced?
I think, okay, so I have spoken to it would be an overestimation if I say 100, but let's say I talk to 100 people and then I have 100 answers. So some people would want to win GBWC, which is Gundam Builder World Championship.
Right.
It happens every year, and then if you win in Malaysia, they'll send you to Japan, and you can showcase your stuffs, and then your build will represent Malaysia. Yeah. Some people to want to build. Their goal is like, oh, I want to have a lot of robots in my room. Me, I used to want to win. I
Right.
used to want to win competition. So let me tell you what happened when I joined the first competition. So I joined the first competition, and I think that the build that the kit that I brought in, the competition piece, is amazing.
Right.
Okay. So I put it there, and I look at all my competitors, and then I felt I no landslide I'll win for sure. And then I lost. Not only I didn't win, there's no placement for me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I packed up everything and left the venue.
Like
So people
immediately?
immediately.
Okay.
So people were looking for me like, hey, where's VD? Where's VD? So I met one of my mentors after that. I was considering to quit, and then he sat me down and then he asked me like, why do you think yours should win? And I said, oh, because I did this. No one did this. My kid bashed him. And he's like, yeah, but that you join in this competition with all your friends. So you're saying that your piece is better than any of your friends. That's ego talking. And I was like, oh, and then he's like, if you don't want to lose, never join a competition. Why do you join a competition expecting that yours are better than all your friends? All your friends put as much time as you, as much money as you, as much effort as you. Why you have to stand out? Winning is just a bonus.
Right.
So that I sat with that for a long time. So then this year, I think like sometime last year, I finally get it. Like what I want is I want to spread this hobby to more people.
I see.
So I think like people find it hard. Like people look at my work and think like, oh, he must have had it easy. It must be nice to be him. I can build like this if I have his. No, nah, bro. Like all that I do, I struggle just the same as everyone else. It's just I struggle different. So, which is why you can see in my content right now, what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to show people like, hey, I struggle too. I'm human too.
Yeah.
So I want these people to look at me and say like, you know what, I want to go along on this travel, on this journey, and then I want to be, like learn and improve with me.
So that being said, this is a very like subjective competition because I'm a builder, but I'm not Gunpla, but I'm a bodybuilder. But again, it's very subjective, right? And then the judging criteria. So I want to know like what makes a champion kid? Like what makes that kid number one over other kids? Like how does one judge it?
You know, like you being a bodybuilder, you should be
Right.
familiar with this as well.
Yes.
Sometimes you can't tell. Yeah. So I had a conversation. Which is interesting. You're asking me this.
Yeah.
So I had a conversation with two great builders in Malaysia. Shout out Eric Yap and Kuzaifah Zulkifli. I learned a lot from these people. I actually asked them in one of their courses and say like, how do I win? And they said like, there is no blueprint for how do you win. Yeah, what you can do like they're like diorama storytelling, and there's like a lot of elements to it, say like clean build and all that. But in the end, it all depends on the judge. So Eric gave this give this example. Say he's going to the venue, and then there's this very pretty girl who said hi to her wearing green.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably when he's judging, he looks at green kid, it's like, oh, this reminds me of that girl. I give extra mark. You really can't tell. And this coming
Alright,
from
alright.
Eric Yap, who he is like well decorated
I see.
person, and he has been judging for so long. So I respect him. And coming from him, so I just felt like, which is why it kind of like make me feel like, why do I want to join a competition if I'm not sure where am I aiming for?
Right.
Yeah, so I'll join for fun.
Yeah.
But that's the criteria, which
Right.
is like is out there. But in general, is modification. So how it looks like before, how it looks
Right.
like now, color and cleanliness of
Right.
build, and also like the idea concept, the
Right.
storyline. But other than that, is out of anyone's control.
There's a saying, the truth is behind the pot of gold behind the rainbow.
Yeah,
Turns out it was the rainbow all along.
yeah, it's a
It's the
rainbow.
journey of
Yes.
trying to reach that goal that actually was the reward all along,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think put it simply, I believe it's the friendships and connections we built along the way.
Yeah.
It's the self-improvement element of our quote unquote hobby, which I believe that I think we really come to value as we mature into our quote unquote hobbies, I would say, at the end of the day. Right? So it's just interesting that we can find a parallel in a somewhat drastically different
Yeah.
hobbies.
I think like it is true what you said. Like this hobby has helped me mature more than anything.
Yeah.
And then you start to see things differently.
Yeah, there is always a greater depth to what we actually do, and it's especially like what we consider identity. Like for example, it could be the filmmakers behind the camera right now, which we think about them, we think about okay, that's the identity, but what is the story behind why they chose the identity?
Yeah.
Usually, when we peel back the layers, it's actually much more deeper than you actually think. Interesting to point out that you said that because of I didn't have a childhood, and this was also a reward mechanism to things.
Yes.
So perhaps maybe I want to ask your advice for those that are struggling with an issue of identity. Now, what would your advice be to them? Maybe they're very young and they don't really seem to fit in anywhere that they go, and that feels like inherent loneliness that never seems to go away. What would your advice be to these young men and women that are watching this video, perhaps?
That is a very interesting question because I just had this conversation with some of my friends and even my wife.
Right.
I feel like some people find their identity on the side of the road, like they picked it up.
Right.
Some people look for their identity, like looking for treasure.
I see.
So, but I one of my friend, he's very smart, and he told me that you might be the best trumpet player in the world who never pick up a trumpet before.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so you'll never know. So for me, like I found it in a magazine.
Right.
You probably found it on YouTube. Some people would probably, one of my friends start drawing because she went to a gallery after a breakup and then saw like, and then I want to do something like that too. So my advice is that never give up. It's not that finding a hobby. You remember like when you were a kid and you always say, "Oh, what's your hobby? My hobby is reading. My hobby is this." Do that. And always choose something that you want to do in the worst of your days.
Wow.
So like if you had a terrible day and that's the first thing that you want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's always better to start. It's always better to have a bad plan than having no plan.
Yeah.
Because a terrible plan you can improve. Having no plan means you don't have no actions.
Wow. That's deep.
Yeah. Deep. So I have so much of this that you just have to start. If you look at all of our Instagram, all of our social media, scroll and look at our first post.
Right.
Yeah, look at our fifth post. In fact, look at our first 2 years post.
It's so cringy.
It's so cringy, right?
I can't.
But people like to see us having this but people don't like to see us sitting hours and hours. You are going through all the back pains and all the anxiety, all the insecurity, all the imposter syndrome, all the project that is unfinished.
Yeah.
People want to see, oh, this and that define you. No, like if you have the chance to look at any of us,
Right.
any of our social media, we started from
Yeah.
zero as well.
I think so. It's true, way true. I mean, for the longest time, I struggled with identity.
Yeah.
I struggled like, what is my self-worth? When I was a kid in high school, I'm asking myself like, what are you good at? You're not the smartest kid. You're not the most good-looking kid. You're not even the most athletic kid.
Yeah.
In terms of drawing, someone else is better than you.
Yeah.
So who are you, right? So I mean, it gives me great joy to know that I think when people watch you online, especially, and the way that I always tell you, honestly, I mean this, I really, really mean it whenever I say it, is your energy is infectious. Right? It is a simple thing about just sharing about building a raising kid or like just polishing something. You give such, gravitas, such this just infectious energy of joy and passion. Just insert it into every single video. And I think because of you right now, my algorithm is full of Gunpla kids coming up right now. And everywhere I go, I see a Gunpla kid. Okay, I gotta snap this picture, send it to Fidi on WhatsApp,
See, then I can always keep up with the news.
Yeah.
People are sending me all this. So I'm always relevant.
So speaking about now let's talk about the future.
Yeah.
What is actually one of the dreams that you have? Like, let's say money wasn't an issue. Let's say time wasn't really an issue, and you got a wealth of resource of people. Right? What would you want to bring to this world? What would be your plans? Is there something already in action?
So let's say I'll tell you in general what I want, like the dream, if and nothing is the issue, and I got everything. So I want to build a small community where people can come and rediscover their hobby, because I feel like you can give money to solve problems, you can this, but nothing beats knowing who you are.
Okay.
Like you find a place where you are. So I would want to create this small community, which I'm doing right now with my friends. Like I will always help them like get try this, try that. Like I'm always like giving them motivations to just try something new. And how am I doing it right now? In my community, I have approached so many people asking them like, hey, I have these random kits that you cannot find. Do you want to build it? If you build it, you tag me as collaborator, I'll custom it and I'll tag you as collaborator, I'll help you out. So I have that as well. And then helping my wife. My wife finally rediscover her childhood because she's always feel embarrassed that people will judge her because she like My Little Pony.
I don't judge.
And then I'm like, bruh. So for her birthday, I gathered every one of her childhood friend, and I announced like, hey, I bought My Little Pony for her birthday, and everyone was so supportive. So now she's like really enjoying it.
It's just beautiful. Like, I think sometimes we're so afraid of just being ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, we're just so scared of that sort of rejection.
I think it's like this approval of people who looked at you and say like, oh, you're not acting your age. I can act however I want. So she feels her fear is that people say like, oh, you're still a My Little Pony. And then I told her, I have been buying Gundams ever since before we were married until today.
Right.
And it's the whole team for this year with me and my friends are reparenting our childhood. So I want people. So we're going to USS together end of this year because like as a kid we're always like, oh, we wanna go theme park with our friends.
Yeah.
So I want to build that community where everyone just like
go back to being a child.
Yeah. Like take a break. Being an adult can wait.
I think that's such a great reminder, and it's a great reminder to myself also as well, because I think as you go through life, you get being you just been bashed by life, you just wash up against the rocks day after day, and the rejection that you face, the words that people say, which kind of hurt, right? And it becomes like a reflex, like call away from the inner child of yours. And I think today, after speaking to you, I mean, it's a good reminder, honestly. Yeah.
I always say that you can be an adult any time of the day. Why not let yourself be a child sometimes? Like the freedom that you have. Remember when you were a kid, you don't care what you wear, you don't care what you eat. You don't care how people look at you. Yeah, but now as an adult, we have this knee-jerk response. Like when people do this, we straight away like, oh no.
Yeah.
But whose validation are we looking for?
Yeah.
We're not looking for validation. We just want to feel good about ourselves. So feel good about yourself.
And then sometimes we wonder why is my life so shitty?
Yeah.
Why is my life so horrible?
And then you look at everyone else in social media and say like, oh, they have a perfect life. No. No one has a perfect life. I actually spoke to one of my friends. He's a millionaire right now.
Right.
And I asked him like, hey, help me out. I want to be a millionaire too. And he looked at me in the eye and he said, if you have a Titanic, you have a Titanic problem. If you bawa perahu, you have a perahu problem. So it's like the gravity of the magnitude of the problems that you have. The problems never go away.
Right.
So, and he said that, I start to feel like, and then he always say like, remember, be thankful, because when you, as long as you're healthy, it's fine. Because when you're sick, you only have one problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think I like this conversation and where it's going. Like, it just boils down to connecting your inner child, as well as being grateful and contented with what you already have. Nothing wrong with desiring to want to be better or be more, having more, but one should never ever forget the core of that lah. You know.
And if you focus on the end goal, you won't focus on the journey. The journey is the best part.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have met if not because of my Gundam.
Correct.
Yeah. So you wouldn't have met me today, right? Yeah. So I feel like you enjoyed it, but people nowadays, especially young us lah, you know, we're always so rushed to go somewhere else. We want to be somewhere. We want to be seen with this. I feel like sometimes if you just slow down and just look around, life's not that bad.
It's not that bad after all. Yeah, that's right. Honestly, and I became wanting to discuss Gundam, but we end up speaking about much more deeper things in life. I think I had an inner healing moment with the video here. I think we've coming to a close to our conversation here tonight. But first of all, thank you so much, Fili, for joining us here for Cerita Kita. And we hope that this conversation with you, Oya Fili, will help not only just me today, but the people viewing this, and just to be again in a state whereby it's okay to be a child sometimes, right?
And if ever whatever I say today make you feel like, hey, I want to take out that canvas that I had lying there for 2 years, or like, hey, I want to pick up BMX or skateboard again. I really hope you just, whatever it is, it leads you somewhere that you feel happy with yourself.
Absolutely. Right. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications, comment if you guys got anything for us, or you want to tell Fidi anything or me. If you got any interesting stories of a friend, of yourself, leave it to me in the DMs, and maybe you'll be on Cerita Kita as well. And last but not least, if you had one message to the world out there, what would it be? Please say it to the camera.
There's no kind of love other than self-love. So if you love yourself and everything about you, you won't be wanting anything else.